Join us as we bring the Greek myths to life.
Long, long ago, the citizens of ancient Greece marveled at the wonders of the world around them.
They were transfixed by the powers of volcanoes.
Ooh, lava!
They pondered the change of seasons.
After the long, cold winter, the leaves and flowers begin to bloom again. And in the summer, the sun's blazing hot, and you can go to the beach and catch a gnarly wave, dude.
And they were amazed by the stars that lit up the nighttime sky.
And so the citizens of ancient Greece created gods and goddesses, each with powers, each with a story, to explain all of life's mysteries.
The gods and goddesses lived on Mount Olympus, a mountain so high that no human could see their activity. At the start, there was Gaia.
I am Gaia, source of all life. I came out of the darkness so long ago that no one knows how and no one knows when.
There is her grandson, Zeus.
I am Zeus, the most powerful of all gods. My weapon is the lightning bolt. With it, I can govern the sky and earth and secure my place as the most powerful of all gods.
He's all about Bethel.
More thunder.
Zeus had two brothers. I am Poseidon, god of the sea. My weapon is the trident. When I strike the water, the waves rise high up in the sky.
I am Theseus, son of the god Poseidon. I am famous for slaying the fearsome Minotaur.
I am Hades, god of the underworld. My weapon is a cape of invisibility. When I wear it, I can move around without being seen and sneak up on my enemies. Shh!
I am Demeter, goddess of fertility. I tend to the fields and flowers with my daughter Persephone. I am Hestia, keeper of the hearth and tender to all the fires of the world.
I am Hera, goddess of marriage and family. I'm also Zeus's wife.
Zeus shared his throne with his brothers, sisters, and all their children. They were the major gods of ancient Greece.
You should have seen their family reunions.
I am Ares, son of Zeus, god of war. I'm always very busy and have my sword and shield at my side. I am Aphrodite, goddess of love. People love to paint my picture.
I am Hermes, herald and messenger of the gods. Hey, I just bring the news, I don't make it.
I am Persephone, daughter of Demeter and goddess of spring. It's nice to be back from the underworld. More on that later.
I am Athena, goddess of wisdom and art. I was a real headache to my father Zeus.
I am Apollo, son of Zeus and god of the sun. You can thank me for all your lovely chants. I am Dionysus, the goddess of wine, the youngest of the gods and the god of wine. I am so popular I get invited to all the parties and celebrations.
Woo! The gods and goddesses had wonderful times on Mount Olympus. They feasted on ambrosia and nectar which heightened their immortality. Eat up.
But in addition to all their powers, the Greek gods and goddesses had many human flaws as well, like jealousy, curiosity, and greed.
The people of ancient Greece worshipped these gods and did their best to keep them happy.
They believed that if there was a thunderstorm, the gods were in the middle of a heated argument.
And if it was sunny, that meant the gods were getting along.
Aww.
Today we share 3 stories.
All of them about what happens when you anger the gods.
We proudly present the Greek myths.
Athena was the daughter of Zeus. After Zeus had swallowed her mother, the goddess Metis, Athena sprang forth from her father's head. Fully grown, wearing the armor and helmet that her mother had made, while inside Zeus's body, Athena was wise and strong, the goddess of wisdom, and Zeus's favorite child.
My dear Athena, you are my most treasured child. I will grant you any wish you desire. Simply ask and it shall be so.
Though I am the goddess of wisdom, I long for creativity as well. Kind Father, bless me with the gift of artistry, and I shall be content.
Zeus kept his promise, and Athena became a master of craftsmanship and the goddess to artists. She was the inventor of the loom and presented her gifts for all of humankind to enjoy.
With this invention, I can create the most exquisite tapestries using colors from the universe and threads spun from the softest clouds, red from the sunset and blue from the night sky.
Everyone in Greece worshipped the artistry of Athena until one day, a young maiden, the proud Arachne, challenged the goddess.
Excuse me? Who dare challenges the goddess Athena?
Patience, please. I'm just getting to that.
Arachne was a young girl who lived in Lydia, famous for its purple dye. Her joy was weaving, and she wore the most beautiful clothes anyone had ever seen.
Look at my craftsmanship. I make men weep at my artwork and the skill of my hands. I am the greatest weaver in all of the world, the greatest since the world began. No doubt. No doubt. In fact, call me crazy, but I think I can weave better than Athena herself.
No.
Oh, yes.
Athena heard this, of course. The gods are always very quick to hear criticism, and even swifter to act against it. Athena was hurt and dismayed by Arachne's words, for she truly cherished mortals and only wished for their betterment. However, this disrespect could not go unpunished.
You poor child, you do not know how foolish you are.
Athena disguised herself as an old woman and went down to earth to Arachne's house. She met with Arachne and gave her the opportunity to correct her mistake.
Your work is beautiful, child, but do you dare compare yourself to the goddess Athena? Why not be content to be the best among the mortals and leave the work of the gods to the gods themselves?
Because I am better than the gods, let the goddess Athena come and measure her skill against mine.
And with that, the goddess Athena threw off her disguise.
Foolish Arachne, you are a vain girl. I am the goddess Athena, the very goddess you have dared to mock. Your wish has come to pass. Sit down at your loom and let us compete. Your own villagers will be the judge and jury. 7 days from now, you shall set your spindle in the meadow, and I shall set mine at my place, and we shall have a contest. If you win, I shall refrain from any punishment. If I win, it is your life.
On the day of the competition, Arachne and Athena sat at their looms to begin their work. For days, the two spun their crafts. The villagers came from far and near to witness this magical sight. Though Arachne's loom produced a rich and beautiful canvas, it was no match for the goddess Athena. It was no match for the goddess Athena.
Dear goddess, forgive me for my vanity, for it is true that you are the greatest in craftsmanship. Please spare me my humble little life.
I take pity on you, Arachne. Though you are a proud girl, you are in fact talented. I shall spare your life. But since you seem to enjoy weaving so very much, you must spend the rest of your life weaving forever, so that you'll never forget the fate that befalls those who challenge the gods.
And with that, Athena changed Arachne into a spider.
Foolish girl, spin your thread and weave your empty net forever.
That's why spiders are called arachnids, by those who know them best.
The myth of Daedalus and Icarus. Daedalus was a Greek inventor, architect, and craftsmanship of marvelous skill.
Why, thank you.
He is credited with inventing carpentry, including tools like the axe, the saw, and glue. He is also said to have been the first to invent sails and masts for the ships in King Minos' navy.
I also carved statues with such precision that they appeared to be living and moving.
Excuse me, I'm in charge of the narration.
Are you going to tell the whole thing?
The title is Myth of Daedalus and Icarus, so yes.
Can we change the end? I don't like what happens.
Well, whose fault is that? Among Daedalus' most famous inventions, a wooden bull for Queen Persephone and the labyrinth.
Oh, which is a complicated maze. Once you enter, good luck finding your way back out.
The labyrinth was designed to imprison the Minotaur, a fearsome creature of Crete who had the body and man and head and tail of a bull.
Minotaur, that's your cue!
Roar.
Can you be more fearsome?
I am Minotaur. Hear me roar. Roar.
You're supposed to be a gruesome monster.
This adaptation is for children. I don't want to scare them.
But you eat children! Athenian children!
Oh, come on. I'm deeply misunderstood. No one loves me. Everyone is scared of me. No one feeds me. Except for the occasional batch of human sacrifices. Don't judge. Minotaurs gotta eat.
Regardless of the creature you see on stage before you, the Minotaur was terrifying, pacing around the center of the labyrinth, always angry and hungry. Can you please pace and growl a bit?
Grr. Grr.
You're really letting me down here.
Gotta be me, narrator.
Moving right along then. One year, Theseus, a great Athenian hero, disguised himself and volunteered to join the 14 children who were going to be sent into the labyrinth and sacrificed to the Minotaur.
Haha! I am the son of the god Poseidon. I will not fail you.
The children were sent into the maze, and Theseus, with the help of Daedalus,
Unwind this magical ball of string as you go so you can find your way back out. And here are a couple of tricks for finding your way to the center.
Thanks, Big D.
Better have your sword ready to go. You don't want to get eaten by the Minotaur.
Some versions of the story say I use my bare hands to kill the monster. That's more dramatic.
Don't be reckless and impulsive.
Recklessness, impulsiveness, my fatal flaws. But don't worry, I got this.
Theseus wandered into the labyrinth, the sounds of terrified, crying Athenian children echoing throughout the dark and endless maze.
I'd be fine with a nice Greek salad. Does anyone know if Grubhub will deliver to a remote island in the Mediterranean?
You don't eat salad! Stop it! Theseus used a magical string to follow Daedalus' tips on how to get to the center of the maze. After winding through the dark and creepy passageways, Theseus finally arrived to the Minotaur's lair.
Here comes dinner.
I, Theseus, son of Poseidon, am here to slay you, you wretched, horrifying beast.
No need for all the name-calling. Minotaur has feelings, too.
And with that, Theseus killed the Minotaur!
Really? That's it? You call that a character arc? Come on, can I have another scene or two?
Sorry, that's how the myth goes.
Die! Die! Die!
Take it easy! I'm dead! I'm dead! Sheesh, no respect.
Once the Minotaur was dead, Theseus followed the magical string back out to the labyrinth, gathering up the Athenian children as he went. He boarded the ship with the children and King Minos' daughter, the Cretan princess Ariadne. King Minos was furious when he
Hello, what about me?
Excuse me.
I'm Ariadne, Cretan princess, daughter of King Minos and Queen Persephone.
I said that already. You're on the ship with Theseus, sailing away?
But the myth says that I held one end of the ball of string for Theseus, and gave him the sword to slay the Minotaur.
Great, Ariadne helped Theseus by holding the ball of string. Now sail away!
My father, King Minos, put me in charge of the labyrinth where all the sacrifices were made. Theseus never would have conquered that maze and the monster without me.
Thank you for setting the record straight. On with the story.
You're not going to give me any more stage time? You got a lot of dudes in this play. My story is essential to this myth, and I'm going to marry the god Dionysus.
We don't have time for that. The myth is Daedalus and Icarus.
Icarus hasn't even entered yet. How many pages into the script are you? I'm Icarus. So no scenes on the ship? What about when Theseus abandons me? I'm prepared to give you some real tears when I discover that I've been left behind.
Hi, I'm Icarus.
We need to move on.
Icarus, seriously? Why tell his story? He's about to make a huge mistake.
Please leave the stage.
I was the mistress of the labyrinth. Some say I was even a great goddess of Crete.
Welcome, Icarus, son of Daedalus.
Well, you're not a very good narrator.
As I was saying, King Minos was furious when he discovered what had happened.
Minotaur is dead. My daughter, Ariadne, left with Theseus? How did this happen? Nobody knows the secrets of the labyrinth. I need answers.
No one, that is, except the brilliant designer of the magnificent maze.
Who are you talking about? You know who did this?
Starts with a D, ends with an S, and rhymes with,
Rhymes with what? Come on!
Daedalus. It's Daedalus.
Daedalus! Did you help Theseus?
I gave him a ball of string.
A magical ball of string.
Daedalus, I must punish you and your son.
Hi, I'm Icarus.
I know who you are! Daedalus, amazing work with the labyrinth. Great job. But you have betrayed me. Now you and your son will be imprisoned here in the labyrinth forever.
I know the way out.
My men will close the entrance. My ships will guard the sea. There's no way for you to escape.
With that, King Minos departed, leaving Daedalus and his son Icarus in the labyrinth with no way out.
Then what? Go ahead, narrator.
What are we gonna do, Dad?
I need to think.
Whoa, Dad, look at this cliff. It's super high. Look at the view.
Hello, narrator. Where do you go?
Dad, I'm gonna bounce on the edge.
Icarus, move away from the cliff. Icarus.
Ooh, I'm gonna go explore the labyrinth now that the Minotaur's dead.
No, you're not.
Why do you have to be so boring?
Please, Icarus, I need to think of a plan.
Whoa, Dad, look at these. These must come from huge birds. Look at me. Look at me.
Let me see that. Icarus, help me collect as many of these as you can. Gather more feathers, tree branches, anything you can find.
For days, Daedalus worked using bird feathers, branches from trees, and wax to build his latest and greatest invention.
What is it? What did you make? Whoa, wings.
Come here, let me put these onto your back.
How do I look?
Perfect, now help me attach mine.
There was no way out through the complicated maze. With the entrance blocked, and Daedalus knew that even if Icarus could scale the dangerous and rocks face down to the ocean, King Minos' men would catch them, which meant
we're going to fly.
No human had ever overcome the force of gravity to soar through the air like a bird. If anyone was capable of such a creation, it was Daedalus.
Can we go now?
Wait. You have to listen to me. If you fly too close to the water, the wings will get wet and the weight will pull you into the sea.
Got it. Can we go now?
I'm not done. I've crafted these together with wax. If you fly too close to the hot sun, the wax will melt, destroying the wings.
Look at me. Look at me.
Are you listening to me?
Be careful. Be careful. I got it. Can we go now?
All right, follow me.
And for the first time ever, humans took flight.
Look at me, look at me.
Ah, yeah. Down below, the citizens of Crete looked up and witnessed the impossible sight.
I'm like a god on Mount Olympus.
Icarus, be careful, you're going too high.
Icarus flew higher and higher.
Icarus, be careful. Icarus, the wax is going to melt.
And higher, still until he was only a tiny speck in the sky.
I'm a god.
As he flew closer and closer to the fiery heat of the sun, the wax holding the feathers and branches together melted. The wings quickly disintegrated.
Icarus, no!
Icarus fell into the sea, disappearing under the water. Daedalus couldn't do anything. Icarus had ignored his warning and fallen from the sky. Daedalus wept for his son and kept flapping his wings until he arrived in Sicily. He would forever be haunted by his son's Icarus' failure to heed his warning.
Well, that was fun.
Ariadne, you're still here?
I never left. I've been sitting over there the whole time.
The myth is over.
Just think. You all could have seen the wedding of Ariadne and Dionysus. Dionysus, god of wine and theater. That was a good reception. But no. Narrator here insisted on a sad ending.
That's how the story goes. It always ends with Icarus falling into the sea.
Ariadne. Look me up, people.
The end. Time for the next myth.
Persephone. As the goddess of fertility, Demeter was in charge of all the fields and crops and assured the earth of good harvest and abundant life. Zeus was very fond of Demeter and appreciative of all she did for the earth, and so he made Demeter his wife. Together they had a beautiful daughter who they named Persephone. Persephone brought Demeter so much joy that she never let her daughter out of her sight. When Demeter went to the earth to look after her fields and trees, she brought Persephone with her.
Come, Persephone, my cherished child, let us sprinkle flowers with the dewdrops of heaven.
Persephone was raised among the flowers and was even told that she looked like a flower herself. It was she who named all the flowers in the world.
You are as bright as the sun, and I shall name you Sunflower. You are as delicate as the wind, and you shall be named Daisy.
She would dance and laugh in the fields, and with her laughter came much happiness and sunshine from the gods. And it was this laughter that caught the attention of Hades, the god of the underworld.
Who dares wake me up in the middle of my beauty sleep?
Now Hades was known to be a gloomy and grumpy god, and one who kept mostly to himself, hidden in the caves of the underworld. But hearing the laughter of Persephone suddenly stirred love in his heart.
What is this strange feeling that's come over me? Why is my frown turning upside down? I feel happy. Oh, how I wish I could have this girl as my wife to live with me in the underworld and bring her laughter to my tedious days.
But Hades knew that Demeter would never part with her beloved daughter, and so he devised a mischievous plan to capture the beautiful girl.
Mother, the sun is so high in the sky today. Please let me go gather flowers in the meadow.
My child, you know I desire to grant you every last request, but there is more danger in the world than your young heart can know.
Oh, please, I promise I'll return before dark. The flowers are so beautiful and plentiful, and I will make the most beautiful crown for you.
Very well, Persephone, but do not travel too far or rest behind trees where I cannot see you.
Thank you, Mother. I will do as you say.
But in her excitement, Persephone forgot to heed her mother's warnings. She strayed too far for her mother to see her.
Closer, closer.
And here in the flattest part of the meadow, the ground split open. In an instant, Hades reached her from the underworld and snatched the girl, dragging her down below. The ground quickly covered up the hole, and silence fell upon the land. When Demeter realized instantly that something was wrong and called out urgently for her daughter.
Persephone, Persephone, where are you? Come back, Persephone.
Persephone had vanished without a trace, and Hades led the frightened girl to his home in the underworld.
Do not be afraid, Persephone. You will be happy here.
How can I ever be happy in such a home as this, where the sun will never again touch my skin?
I will give you any gift your heart desires. I'll give you a throne of black marble and all the jewels you could ever want. You should be queen of the underworld.
I have no use for cold jewels. I love the warmth and the breeze of the summer air, and the delicacy of the flowers. They are my jewels. I do not want to be queen of the underworld. I want to be with my mother.
Enough complaining. What's done is done. You must remain with me now. In time, you'll grow to be happy here. This might take longer than I thought.
In the meantime, Demeter had talked with all the birds and discovered what happened to her precious daughter. In a rage, she went to the god Zeus.
You know I've always been especially fond of you, Demeter. I oblige the earth with rain whenever your fields are thirsty. But what is it you ask of me now?
Your brother Hades has stolen our daughter and dragged her down to the underworld to be his queen. You must rescue her immediately. Justice must be had.
Please calm yourself. Though we've had our differences, Hades is a powerful god and will make a good husband for our daughter. I cannot make such a demand on my own brother.
But he has stolen her unfairly.
I admit his wooing was a little abrupt, but she will be taken well care of.
Anyone but Hades. Persephone is a flower child, a daughter of the morning. No ray of sunlight ever pierces that dark hole he calls his kingdom. She will wither and die.
Don't be absurd. She's a daughter of Zeus. She will survive.
And with that, Zeus dismissed his wife, tired of her pleading. But Demeter's sorrow was uncontrollable, and she wept day after day for her daughter. Weeks passed, and Zeus began to receive complaints from the mortal. Crops were dying, soil was dry, and no buds were blooming.
I realize that I may not have been entirely fair. Can't we find some compromise?
As long as my daughter is away, I shall weep, and the earth will weep with me, as I am the goddess of fertility. While she is gone, nothing shall grow. No tree will bear fruit, no grass will spring. I'll mourn, and the earth will grow as dry and shriveled as my heart.
Somehow I don't think that's going to ease the mortals. Very well. She will be allowed to leave Hades as long as she has not eaten the food of the underworld. If she has, you understand there's nothing I can do. She will have to remain there forever. I will send Hermes to rescue Persephone and bring her home to you.
I am certain she has not eaten. Her soul will be too heavy to eat.
But in fact, Persephone had been growing weak with hunger. And though nothing grew in the underworld, there was one single tree that bloomed in Hades' garden.
Come, Persephone, and taste of my pomegranate tree. I'm sure you never tasted such sweet, juicy fruit.
Thank you for sharing. That's very generous of you to share the fruit of your only tree with me. Perhaps I've underestimated you.
And truly the cunning Hades knew that once she had taken a bite from the pomegranate, she would never be able to return home to the earth.
Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Persephone had eaten 6 seeds when Hermes finally arrived to take her back to earth.
Persephone, Zeus has declared that you are to return to your mother. Come with me, and I shall bring you home where the lands bloom under the blessings of the sun.
Oh, thank you, Hermes. I knew my mother would never leave me here for eternity.
But Hades interrupted before their departure.
Not so fast, my friends. Persephone has eaten the food of the underworld. Since she has eaten 6 seeds, she must remain with me here for 6 months of the year. She may return to the earth for now, but I'll see you again soon, my dear.
Hades smiled as he watched Persephone leave, for he knew that she would be returned to him. When Demeter saw her daughter again, she ran to her with joy.
My dear daughter, never again shall we be parted. Together we shall make nature bloom all year round.
I am sorry, Demeter, but it cannot be. She has eaten of the pomegranate 6 seeds.
I'm sorry, Mother. I must return to the underworld 6 months every year. It is my punishment.
My dear daughter, how I shall cry without you.
Do not cry, Mother. We must be happy for the time we have together.
You have raised your daughter well, Demeter. Persephone is wise beyond her years. Listen to her advice and let us put this drought and famine to an end.
Very well. When you are here with me, I shall be happy and smile upon the earth, and everything will bloom in my joy. But for the 6 months that you are gone, I shall weep, and the earth will weep with me. During that time, the earth shall grow as hard and dry as my heart.
And that is why there are seasons, and why summer and winter are as they are. For when Persephone returns to her mother in the spring, the sun shines, and when she returns to Hades in the fall, the earth must sleep under frost.